What is going on, everybody? Liv Moods here with the first ever NBA mailbag here at Guerilla Sports, where you guys send in questions every single week all about the NBA, all about the Denver Nuggets. You submit your questions, I sit here, answer them, we get to have a conversation. So let's get right into it. You guys had a lot of questions about the same thing. So this is kind of a two-parter for this first one. The first question is, if we get Russ, would he be better on the bench or him and Jamal our backcourt? Another question we got, very similar to this one, is how does Russell Westbrook fit in if he ends up there in Denver? Okay, easy answer to this is that Russ is a bench guy. Okay, and Russ has actually taken on that role even with the Clippers. We saw him adjust to that just fine. He is going to be a bench guy in Denver. I think that's how he fits on this team best. What do we need from our bench? Well, we need athleticism, we need effort, we need energy, and we need a bench that can actually keep the score or elevate the score. And I think Russ, with his veteran status, can bring that to this bench. So to me, he is very successful, will thrive in Denver if he's coming off the bench. He's not a starter. He could be in his prime, but no longer a starter anymore. He's a bench guy. I think he has accepted that role, and he will be perfect for Denver's bench. Russell Westbrook. Gotta love it. Which player on the current roster fills the KCP role best? Well, the short answer is nobody fills KCP's role. KCP will definitely be missed on this Denver Nuggets team the same way that Bruce Brown was. However, Christian Braun could be a bigger and more athletic version of KCP. And where it gets even more exciting is that CB, to me, maybe not as great of a shooter as KCP was, but we do have Julian Strawther who could be that as well. So you kind of have a 1-2 punch here in Christian Braun and Julian Strawther to kind of fill in for KCP, being somebody that was obviously a 3-and-D guy, was also a veteran, had that leadership. You can't really get that from CB and Julian Strawther being as young as they are, and CB potentially having his first year as a starter. You're not going to get that same veteran status, obviously, and that leadership, but you will get athleticism, you will get size, and you will get shooting from Julian Strawther, who's coming up behind CB, I would imagine. So kind of a 2-1 punch there in CB and Julian Strawther to replace KCP. Who would you rather have starting at 2 guards, Strawther or Brown? Listen, I kind of answered this a little bit. To me, Strawther is still unproven. We have seen him in Summer League doing some really exciting things, which made me very excited about what he's going to look like on this team, getting minutes, not injured, hopefully healthy this season. But to me, he is still unproven. Brown has shown the impact that he can have, especially in the postseason. He has come up clutch for this Nuggets team quite a few times. CB, I think you've got a really solid guy as a starter there that I think is moldable. He's very coachable. I think he's going to work well with the rest of the starting 5, but you also know that you've got a great backup in Strawther as well, who does kind of compensate, like I said earlier, for the shooting that I think CB can still be working on. So I'm going to say go with CB because he is the one that is more proven at this point in time, but things could change. What tier contender do you currently have the Nuggets in? What tier do you currently have the Nuggets in? First tier, second tier, third tier. Here's the deal. We cannot forget the Denver Nuggets still have a 3-time MVP on their side. Let's not forget. Jokic is still on this team, okay? Jokic is still virtually unguardable. Jokic is still one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player in this league. So with Jokic just alone, I think that you can still consider this Denver Nuggets team a top-tier team, a first-tier team. Russ, to me, Russell Westbrook, if we can acquire Russell Westbrook, is an elevation of Reggie Jackson. I get we're losing KCP, but I just talked about who is filling that role and how will they fill that role. I feel confident they can do that. I think that Russell Westbrook is an elevation of Reggie Jackson. So to me, this is still a top-tier team. This is still a first-tier team. Yes, losing KCP does take away some of our defense, leadership, you name it. We're going to miss it, of course. But I do think this is still a first-tier team. You've got Jokic on your side. You can't ever rule out this Denver Nuggets team. It's like how I feel about the Lakers. As unserious as the rest of their roster is, when you have LeBron and AD still on this team, Nothing is out of question. Success is still a possibility. Is there any news from Altitude concerning making games more accessible? If you are a Denver fan, you know that the transition of our games being put on Altitude TV has been a frustrating one. I have been a Denver Nuggets fan for most of my life, and in their best, in their prime, they felt impossible to watch, which was a very frustrating process. I get it. If you feel frustrated, I am right there with you. But no, I would not hold your breath. I don't think we are making any steps in that direction of making these games more accessible. Altitude TV is just like any other TV network. It is a money grab. Money makes the world go round. So if you want it bad enough, if you want to watch your Denver sports bad enough, you will pay for the subscription. You will get Altitude TV. You will make the switch, make the change. My family did it. We got sick and tired of not being able to watch our team in their prime, so we had to make the change. I would not hold your breath. I don't think there are any major conversations concerning this issue. I think we're just in this situation. It's something we got to deal with, and if you want it bad enough, I think that they just assume you will figure it out. You will pay for it. You will make the change. So, unfortunately, no. Don't hold your breath. Altitude TV, in my opinion, is here to stay. Thank you so much for joining me for the first ever NBA mailbag here at Guerilla Sports. We will be doing this every week, you guys, so make sure you are submitting your questions to either Instagram or Twitter/X, where we can sit every week, have these conversations, answer your questions, give you a little feature, give you a little shout out. So make sure you're not missing out on it every single week. Thanks for being here for the first one, and we will see you again next week for more.